Hello everyone, welcome to this special review of the emerging technology final examination for the academic year 2017 second semester here at Wolkite University. In this video I will go through each question, explaining the correct answer and give short tips for each questions. Now let's get started. Before diving into our today's content, if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us for more helpful content. Channel YouTube kanaaf haaraa yoo taatan yookaan immoo subscribe gootanii jirtan taanaan ammum subscribe gochuudhaan akka nu cinaa dhaabattan yookaan nu deeggartan jenna. Waan hunda caalaa subscribe kan keessanii nu barbaachisa. So let's start with the true false questions. The first question is, in the architecture of IoT, the network layer is a user-centric layer that carries out different functions on behalf of the users. So this is totally false, because IoT architecture of network layer of IoT architecture is not user-centric layer. It is just deals with how to transmit data across each devices. So the architecture that is user-centric is application layer, not network layers. For this reason, the answer for this is false. So the network layer in IoT is not user-centric. It is a technical layer responsible for routing. That means responsible for networking, addressing and transmitting data between devices, not interacting with users. The layer that is responsible for interacting with users is an application layer. So if you use example, this network layer decides how sensor data means the data that's collected by sensor organism of an IoT from its environments across the networks. Now let's start the next questions. Information society should foster the use of emerging technologies in such a way as to maximize benefits and minimize the harms. This is perfectly true. Emerging technology should minimize harm and increase benefit. The answer is true. The information society should indeed promote emerging technologies ethically, ensuring maximum benefit, such as improved health care and minimal harm, misuse of data. Example, artificial intelligence in agriculture must help productivity, but also must protect farmer data. The third question is, nanoparticles used in medicine can deliver drugs directly to diseased cells, potentially reducing the side effects on healthy cells caused by treatments like chemotherapy. This is true. Nanoparticles in medicine are designed to target diseased cells without affecting the healthy cells, unlike chemotherapy, which affects both diseased cells and healthy cells. The fourth question is, the status of Internet of Things network requirement has no effect on keeping secure all traffic data flows between interconnected smart physical devices. So this is false. IoT network requirements like bandwidth, latency, and security protocols directly affect data protections. So poor configuration means vulnerable to attacks. So the status of IoT network requirements has an effect on keeping all traffic secure. So we say here the status of IoT network requirement has no effect, which is false. It has an effect. If we poorly configure IoT, it may be vulnerable to attacks. For example, an insecure smart meter can be hacked. It should increase the security measurements. The fifth question is, the protection of computer systems from the theft of or damage to their hardware, software, and electronic data is called cybersecurity. This is true. Cybersecurity means protection of computer systems from theft or damage to hardware, software, electronic data. In AR, you interact with and manipulate both physical and virtual items and environments using next generation sensing and imaging technologies. This is false. This describes mixed reality, not augmented reality. In augmented reality, you overlay digital content on the real world, but interaction is limited. So the answer is false. Pokemon Go is an application of AR, whereas HoloLens is mixed reality. The seventh question is, once an emerging technology is widely adopted, it is too late to address any ethical problems that arise. This is false. Ethical issues can still be addressed even after widespread adoption of the technologies. Example, AI ethics privacy regulations like GDPR were introduced after major AI systems were developed. The eighth question is, transparency in AI decision making means that users can understand how and why decisions are made by the systems. This is true. That is the definition of transparency in AI systems. Transparency in AI means users can understand how decisions are made. For example, law and approvals. This improves trust and accountability of people upon the AI systems. So the ninth question is, the lack of international standards for IoT device compatibility is a significant disadvantage that leads to communication challenges among devices from different manufacturers. This is true. There is no international standards for IoT device compatibility. Lack of standardization in IoT causes compatibility issues among devices from different brands, making communication among them harder. And the last questions. For this question, when you see at these examples, a Samsung smart fridge might not work with Xiaomi smart lock. The last true false question is, one of the most obvious differences among augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality is hardware requirements. That is true. Hardware differences, example, AR glasses, virtual reality headsets, MR devices are key factor in distinguishing AR, VR, and MR technologies. Now let's continue with multiple choice questions. So the first question is, for the multiple choice question is, if a smart traffic system dynamically changes traffic lights based on real-time vehicle flow and pedestrian presence, which IoT components are being utilized? A. Sensors, connectivity, and human interactions. B. Connectivity, data storage, and manual override. C. AI, sensors, connectivity, and active engagement. D. Smart devices, firewalls, and encryption protocols. So the answer for this is C. There is an AI, sensors for gathering data, connectivity for sharing data, and for users' engagement. The answer is C. AI decides signal timing, sensor detect traffic, connectivity shares data, user interacting is here in active engagement. And now let's proceed to second questions. Which definition best fits augmented reality? Technology that turns physical objects into digital objects. False. Technology that overlays digital information on the top of real world items. Technology that puts users in new digital environment. Technology that can achieve human level understanding of images. The answer is B. Augmented reality is a technology that overlays digital informations on the top of real-world items. So B is the correct answer. Now let's proceed with the third questions. Which of the following best explains how IoT fundamentally shifts the paradigm of data collection compared to traditional systems? So it uses faster processor to gather more data in less time. It employs centralized database for all data storage. It enables real-time context-aware data collection from environments through embedded sensing. D, it simplifies data collection by eliminating the need for network layers. So the answer for this question is C. So modern data collections, or which includes IoT, enables real-time context-aware data collections. So it enables real-time data context-aware through embedded sensing. IoT uses real-time sensors, unlike traditional systems which relied on manual or predict input. The first question is, what hardware is commonly required to experience virtual reality? Hardware that's used for experiencing virtual realities: Bluetooth speakers, virtual reality headset with sensors, augmented reality enabled smartphone, digital compass. The answer is B, virtual reality headset with sensors essential to experience virtual reality. Let's proceed with the fifth questions. Mr. Tasfai is a software project manager for a long period of time in Hawaii company, a software company. What is or are the professional leadership principles are expected from Mr. Tasfai? A, create opportunities for team members of the company. B, use care during the maintenance of existing systems. C, manage both human and material resources of the company. D, all are expected from him. So this is what expected from managers and technology managers. A professional project manager should be multidimensional, empower team, maintain systems, and manage resources. So 6, assume that you are a pilot and Ethiopian Airlines wants to hire a pilot. They provide pilot training and simulation for the Air Force. Boeing B737 is one of the best-selling jet airliners in the history of aviation. They also provide pilot training simulation for your performance tests. So which types of realities reflected by this? Most of the time, simulation is with virtual reality. So the answer is virtual reality. Flight simulators, fully immersive pilots in a simulated 3D cockpit, classic virtual reality. Which of the following best describes information privacy as a subcategory of digital privacy? So information privacy is the protection of personally identifiable or business identifiable informations. The answer is B. The protection of personally identifiable or business identifiable informations is information privacy, about protecting your name, ID, location, different information which is personal. So information collected will not be used for any other purpose unless authorized or mandated by law. This statement refers with digital privacy principles: the transparency, security, data minimizations, and accuracy. This is transparency. You are informed about what your data will be used for. This is called transparency. Which is the primary concern with using facial recognition in public spaces without consent? Without consent, you have to consider this one. So increased inefficiency, higher bandwidth usage, violation of privacy, and lack of informed consent, poor accuracy in detecting emotions. So the answer is C, violation of privacy and lack of informed consent. Taking facial. This means facial recognitions in public places without consent is a breach of privacy, violation of privacy, and lack of informed consent. A facial recognition without permission breaches a digital privacy rights. The 10th multiple choice question series: which one of the following is the primary use of cloud computing? A. Storing and processing data on local servers, the primary use. B. Providing on-demand computing resources and service over the internet. So the primary use of cloud computing is providing on-demand computing resources and the services over the internet. So the answer is B. Providing on-demand computing resources and services over the internet. Cloud computing offers storage, processing, and apps via internet on demand. The 11th questions: in the application of computer vision, dash is for automatic access authentication as well as forensic applications, surveillance, retail, fingerprint recognition, machine inspections. This is fingerprint recognitions. Fingerprint recognitions used in biometric security and criminal investigations as forensic. Which of the following best reflects the risk introduced by the large-scale deployment of low-power IoT devices in harsh environments? Reduced data processing speed due to limited RAM, increased energy consumption in sensor hubs, difficulty in fault isolation and remote maintenance, challenges in embedding user interfaces in sensor nodes. The answer is C. Difficulty in fault isolations and in remote maintenance, because the harsh environments may not be suitable for people to go there and maintain the devices. So the answer is C. Difficulty in fault isolation and remote maintenance. Harsh environments plus a large number of devices equals hard to fix problems remotely. According to the Internet Institute Task Force definitions, which one of the following most threatens interoperability among IoT devices? As Internet Institute Task Force defines IoT, which one of the following most threatens interoperability among IoT devices? Lack of Internet protocol support, over-reliance on human configurations, defined heterogeneity constrained by boundaries and power limitations, exclusive data transmissions. So device heterogeneity, interoperability contained by boundaries and power limitations. Different manufacturers, different protocols, different interoperabilities. The answer is C. In IoT, there are different manufacturers. There is no standardized way of manufacturing devices. There is different protocols which is manufactured by different manufacturers. So the problem of interoperability among devices is something that exists in IoT. So the answer is C. So modern biotechnology differs from traditional biotechnology primarily in its use of genetic engineering and modular biology tools. So the answer is A. No need of going on. Advanced computer systems, no. High-speed machines, no. Manual crossbreeding, no. Genetic engineering and modular biology tools is found in modern biotechnology, not in traditional. Genetic engineering and molecular biology tools. Modern biotech uses DNA modifications, genetic engineering, unlike traditional breeding. So, which challenge is most likely to hinder the long-term scalability of IoT networks? Long-term scalability of IoT will be hindered by use of outdated encryption protocols, lack of consumer-grade IoT platforms, low adoption of wearable technologies, data overload due to unmanaged device-to-device communications. The answer is D, data overload, because there is a lot of IoT devices. Data overload due to unmanaged device-to-device communications. Too many devices, too much data will be collected, and that network congestion in smart cities. The last questions of multiple choice question is, unlike Things board, which is IoT platform, which platform integrates with MATLAB for analytics and has a strong community-driven channel sharing model? Device Hive, ThingSpeak, KAA, which is the name, not abbreviations. Site where the answer is B. ThinkSpeak. Unlike ThinkSboard, ThinkSpeak supports MATLAB's analytics and community-based data sharing. So there's part 3 is questions, which is explanation and discussions. Discuss clearly how fundamental components of IoT architecture works. There is 4 IoT architectures: sensing layer, application layer, network layer, and data processing layers. Must be discussed and explained in detail as per the given points, which is 4. The second question is define blockchain technology and example explain 3 pillars of technology. So, and the third question, discuss deeply about VR, AR, and MR. Clearly explain details about digital privacy and its components, which is information privacy, communication privacy, and personal privacy. And you have to clearly explain in detail as per the given points, which is 5 points. If you need the answer for these questions as per the given points, I will do video on this one depending on your request. Comment if you want me to do video on this one. Thank you for being with me, and I appreciate for your time. Subscribe, go to Ndagatina, Galatoma Sindira. Have a nice day.